4-5 is famous, baby. Here we go.
And we're back, 4-5 Radio. We got my man Trail in the building.
What's happening?
Timeless Trail, Rejuvenation.
All that.
I mean, we got a few years under us right now.
Nah, for real. I mean, how long we know each other now, bro?
Well,
we met in like 2000 and I want to say like 15. Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
So that's 5 years.
Yeah,
that's crazy,
right? Like you didn't even see like where time went, type shit.
Yeah,
it's like where did it really go?
Yeah, but a lot's happened in between then and now.
Yeah,
but let's go back even further.
Okay.
So I mean, just in conversation with you, I know, like you were out in Cali for a bit, right?
Yeah. So, well, first and foremost, I want to say thank you because this is the first time that's anyone's ever interviewed me on their platform. So I appreciate that.
Of course.
But yeah, man. I mean, from Connecticut, graduated, went to California, tried my hoop dreams out there. Mm-hmm. It was cool. I played against Kawhi Leonard.
For real?
Yeah, that nigga's nice. Can we curse and stuff on here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Do whatever you want.
Yes. But yeah, so played against like Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that. Was definitely following the hoop dream for a little bit. Came back home because, family issues, just had to come back around and be an adult for a second. Mm-hmm. And then went to Elms College out in Chicopee. Played ball out there. By that time, my hoop dreams was way over, though. I was like, that shit is over with. So, you know what I'm saying? I did my thing, graduated, and while I was there, I remember like sitting in the dorm room with my boys and we were just talking about like mad shit. Like we was talking about who's a favorite rapper like Jay-Z or Nas and basketball and all this shit. I'm like, yo, there has to be somewhere where I could get my voice off because talking to y'all is not going to do it for me. I need my voice to be heard by the masses. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of how Rejuvenation started. Like just, I really felt like I had a voice that had some type of content that people wanted to hear and met with a couple people, put a couple ideas together. Rejuvenation came together, and we just been rocking ever since. So
what year did that start?
So I got my official LLC Thanksgiving 2015.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much since then I've just been doing my thing. So we first started off with the podcast. Shout out to Bone, shout out to Desiani, everybody that was a part of the team originally. We did really well. Had a dope ass party. Some cars got lit on fire. That was pretty fire.
Jeez.
Yeah. Shit was really dope. And I think, though, ultimately that was like our downfall. We started off way too good. Like, we had a sold-out party. Our podcast was booming. We had mad love everywhere. And I think it kind of got to our heads a little bit. Mm-hmm. And over time, we just started, like, beefing over little stupid shit, like percentage of the company that we didn't even really make no profit off of yet. Or, like, who's more popular than the other type shit. And then we had one meeting and then true words were exchanged, and then next thing you know, I was sitting at a table by myself, you know what I'm saying? And had to kind of go back to the drawing board and figure shit out, bro. Like, it's been a crazy ass couple years, to be honest. So, I mean, we here now though. Shit.
Yeah. So I mean, when you started Rejuve, like what was the initial goal where you guys got together and you said, all right, like we're gonna set out and we're gonna do this?
So the initial goal of Rejuvenation was to become like an entertainment network, like a platform where I can have multiple like brands under one umbrella and we kind of just take over as a force. Mm-hmm. So we started with the podcast because I was like, yo, how can we get them? Because, everyone knew me from playing basketball. So I was like, how can I get people to know me as someone that actually has a talent as far as talking or being an owner or whatever the case may be? So we was like, let's do the podcast because I know mad people. I could get them on the show. My co-host knew mad people. We get them on the show, and then we could just kind of build it from there. And then as time progressed, we'd just start adding people along with different platforms and seeing how that would go. That shit did not work out the way we planned. So I think just, people had their own ulterior motives and own like platforms and shit they didn't want to combine and everything like that. So
if you could go back, would you do stuff differently? Or is it, I'm where I'm at today because of what happened there?
If I could go back, would I do shit differently? Damn. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no just because, like, going through all that shit just taught me how to really, like, be resilient. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you go through things with people, like you really feel like they care about you, care about them, you want their best interests. Then you get to see like how things kind of unfold, and you realize that it's really you by yourself type shit. And then you just gotta figure out, bro, am I gonna let this shit defeat me, or am I gonna get up and make shit happen? And for me, every time that like I got hit by something crazy, I just kind of was like, yo, all right, fuck it, let's just roll over. Let's keep going. Let's keep making it happen. And I feel like if I didn't go through those things, though, I would never test myself enough to know if I had what it takes to become the person I am. And I'm not saying I'm hot shit or nothing like that right now. I feel like I'm still growing and learning new shit. But I feel like that process definitely taught me how to be like self-reliant. And like if something doesn't go your way, just being cool with that. Like just knowing like, all right, it probably wasn't time to get that shit done type shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
So, I mean, that first season of interviews and stuff that you did, you did a lot, right?
Yeah, we did way too much. Like when we first started the interviews and stuff, we were like, yo, we want to do like 15, maybe 20. Mm-hmm. We ended up doing like 30 or 40, I think.
Yeah, I remember that because we were working on one of our first interviews, and it was with my boy Miles. He was doing Mitch's Sour Hour, and he was interviewing Shump. Mm-hmm. And back then, like my process was, all right, I'm gonna do my research, I got questions and stuff. Yeah. And like I knew Shump, like so me and him both from New Britain, but I just want to see if he had any stuff out there. And then that's where I came across your stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I looked, and I was like, holy shit! Like anyone that we wanted to interview, like was already done by you. Yeah. And I was like, damn, like that's crazy. Mm-hmm. And then I remember watching like the channel for a while, and then like things got a little stagnant. Yeah. And like now hearing like what happened, like it all makes sense.
I had to honestly, yo, like once the initial team fell apart, I just had to sit back and just figure out how the hell I was going to do this. Like I was trying to get another team. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm just get another team. We're gonna move that way. That didn't work out. I was like, I'm gonna try to do it by myself. That was cool, but that shit is mad stressful, bro. Like, just trying to do everything by yourself is not the way to go about things. Like, even my last podcast run, I was over at UConn and I got the guests and everything like that, but just finding people to come record and then getting people to come to UConn out of all places. Like, I had people coming mad far to come to this place, you know what I'm saying? And then sometimes we'd get up there and the doors are locked type shit. Like, we couldn't get in. Like, so it was crazy. But just looking back at all that, man, yeah, I think that time off, that stagnant piece that you're talking about, it was really beneficial because it really made me observe and see like who was like really intrigued with Rejuvenation and who necessarily just was around because it was a good time or whatever type maybe. So, you know, like it was cool. It was cool.
I hear that.
But I want to flip it on you real quick though, because I didn't know that you were starting a podcast so early.
Yeah.
So what was your what was your take on getting into the podcast realm?
Well, me and Darren, we started one the year before that, so it was like 2014. Okay. And it was just me and him doing clapboards, which is what it is today. Yeah. And are you asking why I got into that?
Yeah.
It was Jalen and Jacoby.
Okay.
That podcast, Jalen Rose and then Jacoby from ESPN, and then It's the Real. Like,
shout out to It's the Real.
Yeah, like I followed them from when they were doing like their sketch comedy stuff. So like stuff with Max B, Cameron, all that. Because like the whole New Music Cartel days, like because I like back in my day, like I was involved with the blogs and all that. Like I was behind the scenes on that stuff. So like I knew about them, and then they started their podcast. I followed that. Joe Budden and his podcast followed that. So I remember telling him like, yo, like podcast is where it's at. Like we need to do this. Like, if we can all sit around and talk our shit, like we could do it on like and record it.
Right.
So it started with just me and him, and then we got our friends involved, and that's what it is.
Okay.
So yeah, but I mean, just that's crazy. Like to say these years and think like we just entered into a whole new decade. Like it's half a decade doing that stuff.
I swear, I still feel like I just started like last year. If that, you know what I'm saying? Like it just seems like so unreal to be like, yo, you've been doing this for however long I've been doing it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, what the fuck?
So we got up together first time 2015. Do you remember how that happened?
Sure do. Shout out to Bria Simone.
Bria, yeah.
Feel me? So pretty much, I was telling her that I want to do a project with some artists trying to put together like a collaborative EP or something. And then she was like, that's crazy because I got a boy that want to do the same thing. So that she connected me with you. We met up at Wilson Pizza. Shout out to
Wilson's Pizza.
Wilson over Mr. Pizza. Which one? Don't say Wilson.
Wilson.
No way, bro.
Yes, Wilson's
no
is
way,
top 3
bro.
Connecticut.
Top 3 in Connecticut?
Top 3 Connecticut.
Wilson Pizza is top 3 in Connecticut?
Yes, 100%.
Holy shit. Okay.
100%. You said Mr. Pizza?
Mr. Pizza is definitely better than Wilson, bro. Okay. All right. But so she connected us and we sat down and it was cool. Like, obviously we didn't do anything with the project. I think when we first met, we just had two different visions. Like, you wanted to, I remember exactly, because I wanted to stick more with like Connecticut based, and you was like, nah, I want to get everybody. Like, I want to get people from Florida. I want to get people from wherever. Like, if you got talent, I want you on there. And then we just never really linked up after. But after that, we was always just cool as hell. Like, anytime you had an event or something like that, I try to pop up or show some support and vice versa. And then I think our relationship actually grew stronger after the G Herbo thing.
Yep.
I would say so.
Yeah,
right?
Because that was April 2016, I think we did Herbo.
Yeah.
Do you remember? 17. Oh, 17. Okay.
That's 2017? Yeah. What?
Okay, so 2017,
Yeah.
we did Herbo, and that's you came out and hosted.
Yeah.
And you know what? Actually, one of the memories that stick out from that night was like before we counted like the door money and all that, and like just bro, it was so stressful that month. Like I sat there like while the openers were performing. You came over to me like, yo, what's wrong? I'm like, yo, like I don't know how this is gonna turn out. Yeah. And you just pointed out there like, yo, like you did that, like. Yeah. Look at what like the cards that were dealt to you, and look what you guys turned that into.
Facts.
And like I still remember that. Like that was huge to me because like I think about that like when stuff gets hard, like for anything, it's just like yo, like look what they gave you and look what you did with it.
Yeah, yeah. You know why? Because honestly, yo, like a lot of people were not against, but they did not believe in what you were doing.
Yeah. And
I was just like. So when you had hit me up and was like, yo, you want to host? I'm like, at this when I first started getting into my hosting bag, I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to get an opportunity to host just because it's a big name. I could use that, put on my resume. As I'm telling people, that as we're leading up to it, I'm telling people like, yeah, I'm about to host this. They're like, oh, that shit about to flop, whoop. And when I pulled up, I'm like, this shit don't look like no flop to me. Like you had that arena, that auditorium packed the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? And just to see like, cause I didn't know what you can do at that time. Like I still only knew about you from the one to do the EP. I didn't know that you had a whole brand and stuff like. I didn't know you had a whole like machine behind you. And when I saw that, I'm like, yo, this nigga Jordan just really pulled this all the way off. And like I saw you, I'm like, yo, why does your face not reflect what's out there? And I'm like, yo, that has to change, bro. Because I just feel like as whatever, creatives, entrepreneurs, grown-ass men, whatever you want to call us, I feel like we put too much pressure on ourselves. Like if we don't see things the exact way that we envision it, that we think of as a fail. Because I do that shit all the time.
Yeah, that's how it is with me. Like,
but I feel like we sometimes, like, that shit is a problem, bro. Because we forget to appreciate and embrace like where we at right now. Like
I get what you're saying, but like I think there's a difference. Like people that really want it,
yeah,
like you're gonna push yourself to get it to your level of expectation.
Yeah.
And I'm like what you're saying. You're not saying to drop your expectations, right, but you're just saying to appreciate that build up. And right. I get what you're saying. You're right. But I don't know. I just think like once you're like if you're that type of breed, like. You just want it and you don't settle.
You know what? I feel
mentally
you.
Or until you get it.
I feel you because I'm really picky. Like when I set things out on a certain way, how I want it, and I don't get that way, I look at it as a fail. And we'll talk about the event and stuff, like I was telling you off air. But after that event, I had to really sit back and just be like, yo, look at what you've accomplished. Like, look at what you did. Like, not necessarily, like, yeah, it didn't pan out the way you wanted it to, but look at how that turned out. And then after I looked at that event, I just looked at everything else I did, like all the podcasts I did, anything I hosted, any events I supported, anything like that. And I'm like, yo, like, you're not doing that bad for yourself. Yeah, you could always do better, but I always, like, at this point in life, I always just try to, like, sit back and just smell the roses, too. Like, yeah, shit kind of fucked up or shit not where it's supposed to be at, but you did something. You know what I'm saying? And that's, yeah, you know.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think the Herbo thing, that's a good thing to talk about because like we had to do it at New Britain High
Yeah.
because we couldn't get another venue. Like
Really?
Toad's Place was pretty much like invite only. Like if you know a promoter who knows a promoter whose foot is in the door, you can get in there.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
That's out.
closed curtains.
Right.
What they were doing was if you were outside that circle and you had a suggestion, like you basically had to apply to get the venue, and you would say, okay, what artist do you want to bring out? And then you tell them, and then they would go and book them themselves.
That's
like
crazy.
That's what was going on.
Yeah.
And then Oakdale was just like way too much money, and then like Big Mike had a fucking chokehold on that.
He still does.
Yeah, but Oakdale's dead,
You think so?
100%.
All the way?
Yeah, because of him, he fucked it up.
Yeah?
Yeah, the whole Meek Mill shit. The shooting and stuff, it's been fucked up ever
So
since.
then,
like there's like big names can like do their thing there,
Yeah.
but
Do you feel like we even have any venues anymore where someone could actually?
Webster.
True.
And
True.
the thing is, you couldn't get in there because they weren't doing rap shows for
Oh man.
until like a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So like now there's opportunity there, and I reached out to them and they've always hit me back. It's just like stuff hasn't worked out, but. I mean, that's the thing. Like, just having opportunity in Connecticut. So,
Yeah.
like you do events and stuff. Like, has it ever been an issue for you to get a spot to do an event?
All the time. I feel like it's become more of an issue now because Hartford is not fucking with venues. Like, how the fuck do y'all close down Envy, bro?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, y'all literally close down every single club that we like to go to and celebrate. It's like there's really no. So now we have to not and feel me. Get it how you live, whatever. Now we got the Paradises and we have the Soul Bailas and we have the Beso Lounges and the stuff like that. But can't none of them shits really compare to a real like a Club Pure or some shit like that like we used to go to back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like once Hartford was like, yo, we're gonna just shut down all these clubs, it became like. Really just trying to fend for yourself, like really trying to find all these different venues, and then you had to settle with restaurants, like,
Bro,
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, what the fuck? So it's like, I think, I feel like throwing events in general is kind of dying within itself right now.
But why? And is it because it's just so hard to do, right?
I think when we even had access to the venues, it was already hard to do. Now that we don't have access to the venues, people don't want to come get dressed up and spend how much money at a restaurant, bro. Like, no matter how much you try to fix it up to be a club or whatever the case may be, people don't want to come out and just be like, yeah, I'm about to spend $40 to get into wherever we have right now. And then, not for nothing, I feel like this generation now feel like things are like owed to them. So they feel like they're supposed to go and find these places and people are supposed to automatically say yes. No, you got to do the work. You got to go find these places that want to, like, that's, again, like, not to keep bringing it up, that's why I commend Bria all the time, because when Bria ever got hit with, like, a no, she was just like, all right, I'm going to just find something else and make it even that much better. Like, I remember one day we, I forgot the spot in Middletown. There was a spot in Middletown. She had an event that she had to throw, and, like last minute, the venue was like, oh, we're not gonna let you do it here. And she was like, fuck it. And she went to Middletown, found a venue, and it literally did, I think it probably did double more than what it was supposed to do at the other venue. And I think you got to have that type of resilience type of shit. Like, but even like a spot like this, like, I think this could be, I mean, it's not a venue, but this could really do something if it was done right.
Yeah, I mean, we're planning on it. Hopefully in like the next month or something.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you're saying, like one of our 3 biggest parties were at a sports bar in Plainville, and we wouldn't charge people to get in, and like that bar had its biggest nights in like fucking 20 years.
Fucking with y'all?
Yeah, and they turned into a restaurant after. That was the owner's dream, like to become a restaurant, and that's what they are now. Like,
I just honestly feel like the entertainment in general in Connecticut, I feel like is taking a turn for the worse. I don't feel like it's not achievable to still get to wherever you got to go or to bring it back to life. I just feel like we're getting hit with so much shit right now that it just is making it really impossible to really throw a good, successful event, I think.
you know what I've noticed too? Like, Like when people wear clothes, like they go for the brands, like
Yeah.
big name brand, like what's in, what's popping. And it's crazy because a lot of events now are branded. Like you got Duce Palooza,
Yeah.
and you got like Yes Jules and Her shit. Like it has a name on it, it has its stamp.
Yeah.
So now it's more so like I compare it to like merchandise in Connecticut. Like you got Connecticut brands, and some people will be like, "Yo, I know you.
Yeah.
That's your brand.
Yeah.
Why am I gonna fuck with you?"
That's crazy,
And then
right?
they're gonna go and spend their money on a big name brand. So now it's kind of like the same thing with parties. It's like, yo, I know you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go to your party because
Yeah.
like, who are you? Like,
Honestly, yo,
I know you. I'm not gonna give you my money.
Yo, if one thing I could take back from what you just asked, like if I would do anything different, is I would not be the face of Rejuvenation. That's the one thing, because I just feel like you said, like I got people I play ball with, I got people that I know from the streets, I got people I know from all demographics or whatever. But it's like when they be like, "Oh, that's Trail's event," it'd be like. And not on some shit like they don't fuck with me. It's just more so like I feel like they just
It takes away from it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then someone told me some real shit the other day. They was like, yo, it's probably because y'all grew up together and they probably feel like that you have a leverage on them, which I don't really do. Like, having a business is not as glitz and glimmer as everyone thinks it is. It's hard as fuck, you know what I'm saying? But I think just the fact that people think that you have a business and y'all grew up together and you look like you're a level up than they are, they just feel like they shouldn't support you, put money in your pocket. It's crazy. Like, shout out my boy. I had like a barber that I used to go to, whatever. He was cutting my hair one day. And he was like, that one day, he had a loyal customer that came in every week, and then one day he stopped coming. And the reason he stopped coming is because his girl told the barber that he saw the barber out spending money buying drinks, and he was like, "Oh, I'm not about to put no money in his pocket." I'm like, "Bro, the nigga cut your hair. Like, what the fuck is you talking about? Like, is he not supposed to
job.
feel me right? Is he not supposed to spend the money that you just put in his pocket? Like, so like just a mentality like that. Once I heard that, I'm like, I get it. Like, I understand. So I think yeah, I would definitely have not been the face of Rejuvenation, put it like that. Yeah.
So I mean, and that's another thing. So, like, do you consider yourself a personality?
Yo, I don't even know what I consider myself anymore. Like, when people ask me what I do, I be like, I don't even know. Because it's like, I really feel like I've done so much. Like, I did the hosting. I was in the music, like, doing the music thing, is whether it was a management or trying to be an A&R or trying to be like a director for some shit. I did that. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have a platform where I produced events and I've done fashion shows. I now have the camera, so now I'm doing videos. And like, I feel like I've done so much that it's hard for me to be like, are you a personality or not? I think I'm an influencer. Like, I feel like if someone asks me an opinion as far as like where they should go or who they should, I feel like if I say something, it adds some value. But as far as what I am, what do you call yourself? Because you kind of the same thing.
Nothing. Like, and I don't put a title on myself, and like I think that's why like I lay so low, just because like I don't want to be considered anything.
Yeah.
Because once you put a label on something, like you kind of got to stick to it.
Well, what's your like? Okay, so when you made 4 or 5, like what's your goal with that? Then
my goal was to get my friends involved and give them an opportunity to create stuff that they didn't think they would either be capable of, that they didn't think they'd ever do. Like, if you ask any of them, if you ask Darren if he ever thought he'd be picking up a camera and shooting videos, he'd probably say no. If you ask Diego if he'd be DJing parties with 1,000 people in it, packed out, and
I heard he
around.
knocked somebody the fuck out one day at one of your parties.
Diego?
What's his name? What's his Instagram name?
Peralta Diego.
Oh no, not him. What's the other guy? Blue
Gnome, yeah, that's him.
I heard he knocked somebody out. Nah, I'm.
I don't think so.
Yo, someone told me that he knocked somebody out at a party.
That's a great story that never happened. Hold on.
The Legend of.
Yeah, that's a great story that never happened, but I mean, we can go with that. Like, we can turn that into something.
Give him some credibility.
Yeah, fuck it.
Right.
Oh,
So
that's funny as hell.
So another question I have for you is like, do you feel like by you guys coming together and making 4 or 5, do you feel like it's giving them a different sense of purpose or like a different level of confidence maybe?
I mean,
even for yourself.
I hope so. And you know what? I want to reword that because I said like I gave them the opportunity and like they all worked for it themselves.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I just like
Get the platform.
yeah, that's really it.
Do you feel like you're too humble?
I don't think so. No, like because I mean I've had my conversations with people where I probably come off too confident and
Yeah.
I might be too sure of myself and like that's why like a lot of people I don't get along with and that's another reason why I don't go out like that just because like the way I talk and the way I carry myself like some people might not like it. Like with a lot of people I'm cool with a lot of people and I think that might be an issue too where like I give people too many chances and like I should have cut them off at like mistake 1.
Yeah.
So I mean I don't think so.
No? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you?
I don't know, man. I feel like I'm cool, bro. Like, I don't think I'm too humble. I just don't be giving a fuck. Like, I just be like, all right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just that type of person. Like, I tell people when they're doing really good, and I tell people when you're doing really bad. It just so happens that I catch majority of my people when they're doing really good. So I'm celebrating you, bro. Like, you opened a business, you had a successful event, you dropped some merch, you did whatever. Nigga, congratulations, good shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like some people take that as being too humble because I never really talk about myself. Like, I never be like any of the accolades that I did. And I think that goes back to what we were just saying as far as like, I never took the time to just appreciate my accolades. Like right now, when I talk about the old podcast, like the original with like Bone and Destiani and stuff, like or A60 Beauty, let me say her, you know what I'm saying? When we did with that, like I look back at that, I'm like, yo, we had a fucking run. Like we were on the ball. But during that time, like in the moment, I didn't really take the time to appreciate any of that. Cause I'm like, yo, we have so much more work to do. So, you know, I think I'll just be chilling. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
Yeah, you know.
I mean, that's the thing though, like, because like when people ask about parties or like I've said like the warehouse party that we did, like that's the best party Connecticut has ever seen. Like I will put that stamp on it and I will fight for that forever until I see something that is better. And I give people their credit, but it's like you can give people credit and they'll still think like you have something against them. Like people hold these grudges that don't exist.
And why? I really don't know why that is. I have my theories. I think that people just don't have confidence within themselves. So like if you're a party promoter and I'm a party promoter and my party just seem to just be popping off crazy and then you throw a party and you aren't happy with your turnout, but say your party was flooded. But you just like, yo, that wasn't good enough for me. You'll automatically look at me as competition because you're just not confident within yourself. So I feel like that hate is just embedded. Like I don't know what the fuck stems it, but that hate is somewhere that Connecticutians, whatever you want to call us, have. Like,
yeah, I mean, because I think it's the same thing. Like where, like if two people are doing the same thing. And one person throws a party, and it goes well. The other person's like, "Yo, I could have did that."
All the time.
Or like, I could do that.
Yeah.
So then, like, they're like, "Okay, like if I could do it, then like I'm not gonna show love. Like, who cares? Like that's nothing to me because I could have did it."
Right. I feel like
do it.
I just feel like the crab and the barrel mentality, like as much as we say it, is really a thing.
Oh yeah.
But I also feel like we have to do better as people. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
We've been saying this for years.
I know. And I feel like we just like, we stop ourselves from being great. You know what I'm saying? The moment that you put any type of hate or any type of malintent on someone else's vision or dream or even as a person, that karma's about to come back and get you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I believe in shit like that. Like, I believe that what you put out is what you get back. If y'all haven't, y'all should read The Secret. That's a really good book. But I feel like in order for Connecticut, in the entertainment, creative, entrepreneurial scene to be where we need it to be, I feel like everyone needs to really swallow a reality pill and have a real conversation with themselves and just ask, like, yo, are you really being the best and doing the best that you can? And if you aren't, why aren't you? Do you need help? Do you need to collab with someone? Do you need to just scale back a little bit? Do you need to whatever you need to do? And I feel like people just don't want to have them real conversations with themselves. It's a dark and lonely ass time when you sitting in that mirror by yourself and you don't got an entourage of people popping bottles and taking pictures with flashes behind you, and it's just you and yourself looking in that mirror and you having a heart to heart. Like, I think that's probably the reason for real.
No, that's very real.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask you a question.
Sure.
Do you think there's anybody in Connecticut,
Uh-oh.
like our generation, that has done enough to where they should be charging for their time? Like charging for consultation?
No.
Okay.
At all.
All right.
The reason I say that is because you right where I'm at. Like, like
I don't think anybody's above, like, everyone's, like, if this is the finish line, like, everyone's, like, still right here. No one has crossed that line yet.
only person that I really can give credit to is Chris Webby.
Okay.
Chris Webby has had like a 10+ year career.
Yep.
He's made music. He's traveled the world. Like, that's the only person I could say, like, really has had it for that long of a time where you could be like, all right, do you want? And I'm not even saying you charge for consultation either. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, like, as far as making it to that level where you could even consider doing that, I think he would be.
Yeah, because he's established. Like,
Right.
I was talking more so on, like, the creative scene, but, like, for an artist, then, like, he definitely got it.
For creatives, nah. And it annoys me when I see people, like, tweet or, like, Instagram, like, oh, consultation, one-on-one consultations, DM for inquiry, like, and then you DM and they be like, bro, real talk. When I first picked up the camera, I hit up this photographer / videographer, and I'm like, bro, I really like your work. Feel me? I would love to sit down and just chop it up with you. This nigga texted me back and was like, he was like, yeah, bro, appreciate that. For my time, I charge like it was like $1 an hour. I'm like, bro, for real? Like, I'm like, shit like that just automatically just makes me want to block people because it's like, what the fuck type of shit? Like, so I don't think anyone in Connecticut has the right to say anything. We ain't none of us really put in that much work. Like, we put in effort and we put in work, but none of the shit that we put in has really worked though.
Yeah.
Like none. Like,
Nobody.
Nobody. Like, you're not getting picked up by Revolt. You're not getting picked up by Rock Nation. You're not signed to no label. You're not until you get something like that under your belt. I don't feel like you can really even have any type of conversation. And not picked up where it's like you got picked up because your boy is like you actually put the time and effort in, and someone saw your talent and was like, I want to. We don't have that out here yet. So.
Yes, because everyone's had their highs. Everyone's had their drought where, like, nothing was coming out. Like, I think we've all gone through that. And there's just everyone's had their different peaks at different times. And it's just, like, I asked that because I had reached out to somebody about doing something and bringing them in on it. And it's not Bria.
Okay.
It's not Bria. She goes, okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Like, I see you got all the work done. If you want to talk about it further, like, I have consultation hours on this day. I'm like, forget it.
Once you say that, it's like, so all right. So I got another one for you. So it's totally different than the consultation thing. But how about when artists are asking for like feature prices? How do you feel about that?
I mean, there's certain artists that, while they might not be established artists, like, I'm gonna use Full Effect for example. Like, some of them, like, it might not be, they shouldn't be charging anything crazy, but like a few hundred, yeah, because there was times where fucking with them got you a lot of play, like in the high school crowd, which is like a huge crowd. Yeah, like any high school in Connecticut, like they were probably fucking with Full Effect at one point, heavy, and like there was people wanted to be a part of that. So like, yes, I would understand if they would charge a feature price. If you had influence like that, then yeah, for sure. Okay. But a lot of artists, and I would say there's maybe no more than 20 that should be charging anything. Yeah. And another thing, are you the type of person that if someone asks for your feedback, you give it to the straight up honest? Always. Always? All the time. Do you feel like that's a reason why people might look at you in a certain way?
Cause for me, like
Maybe.
yeah, like for me, I won't give you feedback. Like you ask me, I'm not telling you.
real?
Because you don't really want to hear my shit. You just want me to listen to what you have to give me. You don't want to. If you give me some shit, I'm like, man, that shit was whack. Next thing you know, oh, Thomas Chella, hating ass nigga, like he don't got no whatever, and you really might be trash, bro. Like, or not even trash. You just might not be my cup of tea. Like, you feel me? You might have just asked the wrong person for feedback, but. I don't give no one any type of feedback on shit.
Like I literally like just had somebody send me their shit like 825. So I mean, and that's the thing. Like I always give feedback, and like it's thorough feedback. Like if it's the production or the vocals, like I know music to the point where I can give you feedback on just about anything.
I always said like. When your name ever came up with conversations with like people I know, I always say, yo, that nigga is smart. Like if that's one thing I could like, I think you're a really smart person. Like I noticed that from the first meeting at Wilson. Like even your ideas and the way that I'm like, damn, I didn't even think of it from this lens. And then you told me a little bit about your background, like you was like working out in New York, right, and stuff, and doing stuff out there. And I'm like, all right, so he has some type of like experience, but just like seeing how like you've taken the brand with your friends, of course, but seeing how you taking the brand and kind of promoted it and done it, and there'll be times I'm like, yo, damn, that nigga Jordan is on fire, like, you know what I'm saying? And I really like wanted you to know that, like, I really think that you're probably one of the smartest people that I talked to out here.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
I just think like I try, and like I try to open my eyes to a lot of different stuff, like listening to podcasts and like listening to interviews and stuff like that. Like that's always been important to me because like I'm someone that likes to learn, and the more I learn, the smarter I become, and the more I can talk about, and like the more people I could talk to about different things. Like that's how like you get to know people,
Right?
So like that's one thing I've tried to focus on, and it's one thing I've shied away from like in the past year, like just because like I've been busy.
Yeah.
So that's stuff I want to get into more as well.
Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, like going back to like giving feedback and stuff, I'll only give feedback to people that actually take it. Like if I tell you something and like if you come back to me like, all right, yeah, I tried this out instead, and then like they took my ideas into consideration, or like they just made a little tweak, or like if I'm talking to them and I see they're actually listening, like I'll give feedback again. But if you're just like doing what you were saying, like you just want me to listen to it, then cool.
Yeah.
So like I'm still selective. Like it's not everybody. It's like it's not anyone can send me music and I'm gonna listen. Like some people I just don't care for. Like
man, it's nobody unless like if your song or something touched me a certain way and I reach out to you, I'm not giving you shit. Not even on some like I don't fuck with you or some bad shit. It's just I don't have time for everything that comes after that. Like all the shit that comes with that feedback, I don't have time for it. So I just kind of just.
You know what's crazy? You know Ian up north?
Yeah, shout out my nigga Ian. That's my dog.
So, T Biggs had posted a clip of him singing, and I'm listening. I'm like, holy shit, this is gonna be a fucking hit. Like, there's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And
then I showed it to my girl, and she's like, he's only doing a cover. Like, this is already a hit song. I'm like, God damn. Like, I'd already messaged T Biggs. I'm like, yo, like, lock this one up. Like, this is going.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn.
Yo,
I didn't
one
know
thing.
This is a song already.
Right. To even talk about Ian, though, that's one motherfucker, bro. Like, I don't know how he does the shit that he does. Not even on, like, the music. Like, the music, don't get me wrong, I love his music. But just his work ethic and the type of person he is, I've never hit Ian up one time and he either tried to be funny or not hit me back or something like that. Like he is really a genuine person that really wants to see everybody win. That's how a lot of people should be. I just really hope I hope none but good things for him, man. And shout out to my nigga James too. J-Bye, yes you. That's my boy.
Yeah, I've never talked to Ian. I haven't met him yet, but
I would definitely like to connect.
See him working just because like I follow T Biggs and they're always locked
all the
in
time,
together.
bro. He's in that studio relentlessly, bro. Like he really wants this. Like you know what I'm saying? Like you can just because we didn't even meet in person at first. I forgot how we followed each other on social media, and like we just kind of built a relationship off of that. Like he'll comment something, I'll comment something back, and blah blah blah. And then when we met up, it was just like, did you just become my best friend? Like type shit. Like it was just like an automatic connection type of thing. And like ever since then, like me and him just been locked in. Like I check in. If I don't check in with him, he checks in with me like every week or something. Or I check in with him. Like it's like to that. Like I don't know if he does that with everybody, but that's my boy. Like I definitely like out of all artists, I will go to bat for him, and I will help him out just because of the person he is and the work ethic that he has.
Word.
For sure.
That's big. So what have you been working on? What's next for you?
All right, man.
It's a new year.
Yeah, new year, new me type shit. Honestly, bro, this camera is my life right now. Like, this shit has opened up a whole different mindset, frame, thought process that I never even thought I had. Like, I thought I had this before I had the camera until I picked up the camera. And it's just crazy how I got there. Like, we were talking a little bit off air, but I had my event. I had Love Day. It was in New Haven, and it was good on paper, man. Like, it was really good. I invested a lot of money into that fucking party. Like, a lot of money. I put out all the stops. Like, I'm one of them people, like, if I'm either going to go big or we're not going to do it. And granted, it was in New Haven and stuff like that, and I get it, like, the distance and everything, but still, that wasn't enough for me to just... The outcome wasn't what I was expecting.
Weren't satisfied?
At all. Like, at all. Like, it's a 2-floor venue. Granted, I only had 1 floor, but even the first floor, it had a good amount of people, but I'm like, damn, where is everybody at? Where's everybody that I fuck with at? Or everyone that said they was going to pull up at or stuff like that. And I get it. People run into issues. They don't got a babysitter or whatever the case may be, but that just wasn't enough for me that day. And I really, like, for me, when I throw events, I never get like happy about them or anything, because you never know what could happen. Like, I don't never want to put myself in a mindset where I'm like, yo, this shit about to be dope, and I put up and that shit's whack, and then I'm just defeated. Like, that's probably one of the worst things. So I just don't have any emotion, period. I just do the event, and then after the event, I'll be like, all right, that was a victory or that was a loss type shit. For this specific event though, I did so much behind it that I'm like, yo, this has to hit. Like, this has to be a sell-off. And then, like, the promotion behind it, the people that were supporting it, the day of, bro, my phone would not shut off. Like, my shit would just, everyone posting my shit, everyone showing love, everyone like, yo, I'm about to be there, da-da-da. And then you get there and you set up, and then, 9 o'clock comes. You're like, okay, it's still a little early. 10 o'clock comes. You're like, all right, it's still early. 11 o'clock comes. You're like, all right, it's not as early anymore. 12 o'clock come, then you like, well, whatever. By 12:30, you like, this is kind of your idea. This is what it's gonna be. And granted, like, the event was a success. Like, everything went how it was supposed to. Like, I had everything that I wanted there, and I had a good amount of people. Shout out to everybody that was a part of it, that helped either the night of, whether you were a videographer, a DJ, whatever the case, like any of that. Like, shout out to y'all, because you guys definitely kept my energy high during the time. But bro, when it was time to pay everybody out and it was time to like go home, that shit was dark. Like, let's just say both my bank accounts was negative. My business one and my personal one was $500 each. You feel me? So, like, just driving home, I was like defeated, bro. Like, I was crying. I was hysterical. I'm telling you, bro. Like,
I know what it could feel like.
Man,
it gets to that point.
Yo, that was the worst I ever felt. And granted, everyone's like, yo, it was a good event, and da-da-da. And I'm like, yo, thank y'all. Like, thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for appreciating and having a good time. But for me, it was just like kind of what you were saying. Like, it was just like, I had a vision for this. I know what I wanted to see, and I didn't see it. And it didn't, like, my bank account matched my energy. And so pretty much, like, after that, I was out of work because I fucked up my hand. So I was out of work for like 2 months. And I couldn't do shit, bro. I couldn't even afford a haircut. Like, that's how bad it was. I couldn't do anything. And then I'm like, all I could do was think. So I just started thinking, like, yo, what could I do better? What am I doing too much of that's not making me any money? What can I do more of that I actually like to do? And then I just got back to Rejuvenation. I'm like, yo, what is the purpose of Rejuvenation? Rejuvenation is to make content. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And I'm like, how do I have a content based network and I don't have a camera? Like, that don't even make sense. Like, why am I saying I run an entertainment network and I don't have my own camera to be running this? I'm always either outsourcing or trying to get other people. So I'm like, yo, let me just get a camera and see what I could do. So I'm doing some research. I'm asking everybody what kind of camera they have, or what should I get? Like, what kind of programs and tools and da da da. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Jordan Rio. Shout out to Jamie. Shout out to Ike. Shout out to Sean. Shout out to everybody shout out to Miguel. Anyone that gave me advice came in clutch. I found the Sony. The shit was mad expensive. So I'm like, damn, I'm not about to just wait to get the camera. My mom had a Best Buy card. I'm like, Mom, let me hold that down. My mom is like one of the biggest supporters, but also one of the biggest complainers. So she was like, bro, I'm gonna let you get this card, but you better pay my money back. Da da da. So she swiped it. I got the camera, and ever since then I just been on the go, bro. Like, just been out here, like, you know what I'm saying. And it's just it's brought like a different type of like life. Like, I think before I was going so hard because I never understood what my purpose and my value was. Like, I don't have a camera. I'm not an artist. I'm not a producer. I'm not a DJ, but I'm in entertainment. And events isn't the only thing I do, and it's also not my bread and butter. So it was like, well, nigga, what are you? Like, for real? Like, you're just a consultant? And then who are you consulting? People that don't want to pay you? So it's like, are you even achieving what you want? So once I put that up, bro, and I shot my first, like, my first event, and took my first picture, and it was just like, even if the picture come out whack, I'm like, I took that. That's my shit. You know what I'm saying? So honestly, 2020, moving forward, I have a lot of things I want to do differently with Rejuvenation, not necessarily make it so much entertainment network based, make it more content based, like, so producing more things. Still want to keep the podcast, of course, because I like to talk, and I like to talk with people, but that camera, man, that's gonna be it.
What you focused on?
For sure, 100%. Like, music video, documentaries, event recaps, short films, whatever comes my way, I'm trying to master that. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, man, it just brings like a different type of energy to me. So,
like, I remember like 2018-ish. Like, that's when you're going crazy with the working out, and you were like you were focused on that. And I see that energy is being put into the camera right now. Mm-hmm. Like, I see how hard you're going with it, and like, it's people notice. Like, if I notice, I know damn well people are noticing.
Thank you, bro.
So for sure, keep going with
that. Don't forget that fitness is still in there though. That fitness is still going. Shout out to my niggas, The Lost Breed. Shout out to my boy Body by Porter. Who else I brought? Shout out to Devontae, Diligence Training. Shout out to my niggas at the gym that I've been working out with. Like, that's one thing that I don't ever think I'm gonna give up, because we've been in the gym together. Like, you just when you just be like, oh shit, like you just flexing a muscle, you be like, oh shit, like, it just bring a whole different like mindset to you, and that's one thing you can't get rid of. That's one thing you got to try to keep. So that fitness shit is definitely gonna be a part of me forever. I'm so mad that I took so long to actually start working out. Like, I've been playing basketball my whole life, and I didn't really start lifting weights until my career was over. Yeah, stupid as hell.
That's what a lot of people say that though. Like, a lot of people don't work, because a lot of people don't work out in high school. Yeah, and like, their definition of working out is like getting on the court and doing drills and all that stuff, and like getting to the weights. Like, that brings a whole different beast out of you.
Facts. So I said my 2020. What is your 2020 looking like? Happy New Year's, by the way, too.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Yeah, for real.
My 2020, like we were talking about off air, like I said, like 2019, I kind of stepped back a bit just to see how everyone around me works. And I want to be the one to like fill all those gaps. Like, I know who does what. I know what pace they do it at. So like, I have a good understanding of everything now, to where I can bring everything to the next level. So, I mean, people always ask, like, what's 4-5? What's 4-5? What's 4-5? And my answer is always everything. So, I mean, because we do a lot. Yeah. Like, we got the podcast, we got the merch, we do events. Like, there's a whole lot that goes into it. So I still want to do everything. I just want it to be more structured now,
Yeah.
and I don't want all the focus to be on one thing
Mm-hmm.
like it usually has. Because like we'd have certain gaps where we're focused on merch,
Yeah.
we're focused on events, or we're focused on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to break it up, or I don't want to break it up. I want everything just to flow
Cohesive.
together.
Yep.
So that's what I'm looking forward to this year. Like it's all about expansion, and like I think we've had a good effect on Connecticut, and I want to expand outside, and I want to
Yeah.
get a different demographic, and I just want to build, man. Like
What
keep
What would you say? The last decade taught you, and then what would you say that you're trying to learn for the new decade?
I mean, the beginning of last decade, I was a junior in high school,
Crazy.
so ending it like as a grown man that has grown man responsibilities, and I just like that decade, like I became a man. Like
Yeah.
that's really all there is to it. Like I found out who I am, and I found out who I want around me, and like I have expectations in life now. Like I understand life a lot.
Yeah.
And like this next decade, it's really just about. I don't even think it's about me. Like I'm very selfless, and I do want to be in a good position just because I want others to be in a good position as
Right,
well.
right.
And like we're talking about, like I really want to focus on the youth and like setting a standard for them, like that they might not know about, and getting them involved in a creative process where it could be anything that we're involved with, because we do a lot. So that's really what I want to do next year. Like when I say expand, I don't just mean expanding my business, but expanding my outlook to other people. And like that's my word for the decade. It's expand on everything.
Got you.
So that's gonna be real big for me.
Okay. It's a good intro.
How about you? If you had to set one goal for the decade, and a decade's a long time.
Yeah. I think for me, my word would be elevation.
Elevation.
Like it's just like never stay stagnant. Like no matter what you do, like always keep learning. Whether that's I'm trying to like read one book a month. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm trying to make sure I'm in the gym. At the same time, I'm trying to make sure I'm with the camera. Whatever I decide to put my hands on, I got to make sure that I'm confident that I can elevate it. And of course, we're going to take our losses, but to make sure that as a whole that I contribute some value and I help to see some progression. That's it, because I think the last decade showed me that as much as I was saying that, I wasn't really putting out that effort. Like I would, but it wouldn't be consistent enough. Or like my last decade, I was really quick to like, if I didn't really like the way shit was going, I just kind of like back out the scenario, back out the scene, and just do my own thing. And this year, this decade, I'm trying to be more open to like understanding that, you know, if you really want to see longevity or something, you're gonna go through shit, but you have to have what it takes to get over it too. So just elevating my mind, bro. Elevating my mind, my body, my spirit, my soul. Like that's it for me. Anyways, yeah.
I like that.
Thanks, man.
That's something good to end on.
Yeah.
So it's 4-5 Radio, Trail.
Yo, thank you again for having me, bro. I appreciate that.
Of course, man. So to a strong year, a strong decade.
For us all.
Let's see it, man.
Let's do it.
4-5, we out.